Hello and welcome to part 2. So first off, let's make a prefab of a circle. So just grab a circle and drag it over to our prefabs folder. So we have a circle and a cross prefab that we can reuse a lot of times. So for now let's delete cross and circle here in the hierarchy, so they will be gone from here because we don't need them there. So the next step would be to basically wire it up for all of the fields, right? Because now we just have it for field 1, for slot 1. As you can see, if we click here nothing happens, and if we click here red cross will spawn. So let's do that. First we need to duplicate this, because you know when the scene starts, we are here, you know, like you see when the scene starts you can see green outline, we are here and it's waiting us. But right now we only have this one action here, and it's just wired to slot 1, as you can see, and slot 1 clicked. So we need to add a bit more of those down there, and then we will be able to send events to different states. So let's grab this, Ctrl and C, and click here on the blank spot. Nope, not here, but here on the blank spot, and Ctrl V to paste it. So now we need to change a bit of things. We need to drag slot 2 here, and we need to make a new event that will say slot 2 clicked. So let's make a new event, slot 2 clicked, and go back and change this to slot 2 clicked, and then we get a warning that we don't have slot 2 clicked. So click on here on state 1, right click, add transition, slot 2 clicked. Now the warning is gone. And now we can also duplicate this one, but we don't just want to duplicate just this action, we want to duplicate the whole state, because we don't want to make it like this, so the slot 2 clicked goes into this one again. We need to change the spawn point, so we need to make a new state. So what you do is you select this state and Ctrl C and then press Ctrl V, and as you can see we made a new state which is a copy of this state, just with a different name, but naming is just for us, it doesn't affect game mechanics at all. So what I did, I wired slot 2 clicked, but now we also need to change this state. We need to change, this is all fine, just the spawn point should be slot 2. So now let's test it if this works. So let's click on slot 2, boom, it works. Now let's try to click on slot 1. Nothing happens, as you can see, because if you're paying attention, you should know, we are right now in state 3. As you can see, it finished this state and then it stopped there because we didn't make it go anywhere else or to do anything else. So it made this red cross and then it stopped there. So what we need to do is we need to wire it back to state 1, so that we will monitor for mouse clicks again. But first let's rename these states so we can better know what's going on. This naming convention, like I said, is just for our purposes. It doesn't affect game at all. So what you do is you select state 1 and go to state, and here we have a place for name. So let's type in waiting for mouse clicks. You're waiting for mouse clicks, and it expanded it a bit, so let's drag over our mouse and push these ones to the right. So this one is waiting for mouse clicks, and let's rename this one spawn slot 1, and or not let's not say spawn, let's say create slot 1. Oh, this is slot 2, so create slot 2, and this is create slot 1. So what we said is we need to wire it back to here. So let's do this, and what you do is you right click on this one and add transition and finished, and then click on finished and drag it back. So what this means is when this section will finish, it will automatically fire this event and it will go back here. So let's try it out, and you will see that we have a tiny bit of error. So let's click on slot 2, boom, and it paused our game, as you can see, and it spawned 1,000 of cross clones. And you can see here in our console it says game manager FSM. This is this loop count exceeded maximum 1000, default is 1000, overriding FSM inspector. So if you can see, we made this loop trigger 1000 times in like a split second. So you can see how fast this visual scripting is. It's like it's as fast as coding, because beginner guys think that, you know, this takes 1 second to get to here and so on, but as you can see, 1000 loops happened in like a split second. So let's pause this and let's come to create slot 2, and we will add a pause action or wait action. So click on slot 2, action browser, and we will type in wait and add this one in, and time can be 1 second, and finish event is the event to send when the wait is over. So we want to say we want to send finished, right? We want to trigger this one to send. So let's try it out. Let's click on slot 2, boom, it works, and as you can see, it paused there. Let's click on again and notice how it stops here for 1 second and then goes back. So let's click on it, see, it stopped and then goes back. But now, as you can see, we made 2 crosses here, and third one now we don't want to do that. We just want 1 cross or 1 circle per square. But right now let's detect another error. If we click here on slot 1, that's it. It spawns cross, but nothing happens because we didn't make this finish loop and wait action. So we have 2 errors to fix. First one is, let's add finish here and wire it back. And the second one is, let's go to create slot 2 and click on wait action and Ctrl C and click on create slot 1, and then you have to click here on the blank space, because if I wouldn't, let's just not click here and Ctrl V, you will see it makes it here, it makes a new state with this section in it. So let's delete this and click here, and then click on this blank spot, it has to be in this blank spot, and then boom, it adds it here, it adds it there. So this is it for those 2. Let's check it out. Boom, one here, waits 1 second, waits 1 second, goes back, and then we can spawn them again and again. Right now wire all of them and all of these 9 slots, and then we will go on to fixing other bugs. So I will fast forward a bit and you can finish it on your own too. Okay, so as you can see, I wired everything up and it got a bit clustered here because the screen is so small. So let's make it a bit bigger. So yeah, let's try it out. So slot 1, wait, goes back, slot 2, goes back, slot 3, goes back, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's it. But as we detected, we have a problem because we can make multiple crosses in one slot. So let's try and fix that now. And the way we will fix them is we will basically we will make a boolean. Okay, let's click on variable and then boolean, and this means basically true or false. So what we will be asking ourselves is if slot 1 is filled, it will be true, and if it's not filled, it will be false. So if slot 1 is taken, it will be true, and if it's not taken, if it's empty, it will be false. And for other 8 slots too. So let's type in here slot 1 taken, and then let's also type in other 9 slots. And the way you do this is you type in and then press enter, and then you have to click here on blank spot to make a new window. Okay, so this is it, and make sure you have booleans here. If you don't, if you forgot to change it, just click on here, boolean, and then click on all of the rest, boolean. Okay, so let's go back. So first thing that we need to do is when we create an object, we need to change boolean of that slot to true, because when we create something there, boolean for slot 1 taken gets to true, so it means slot 1 is taken. So let's click on create slot 1 and then action browser, and so what we just said we need to do something with booleans. So let's type in bool. So we can search a bit, but I already know which one we need, because we don't want to convert anything, we don't want logic, if it's true, if it's not true. We just want to met, and the met is set bool value, sets the value of a bool variable. This is what we need to set it to true. So drag this one in, and then it asks us for bool variable, which bool we want to choose, and we can see we have nine of them there because we just made nine there. So let's pick slot 1 taken, and you can see right now, because we have this debug mode on, and this tells us in which state the variables are, or basically what is the value of variables. You can see right now it's on false. So this, if we make a tick here, it says bool value, and this basically, if there's not a tick there, it's a false value. If there is, it's a true value. And we don't need to tick every frame because we just want to do this once and then go back to our state. So let's close this action browser, and what we also can do, let's click on variables, and then we can click on slot 1 taken boolean, and as you can see, used, it says used 1, and others have used 0 because we just used this action here. So another thing we can do is we can, here in inspector, we can tick here and see it comes in there. So let's do this for all of 9. Okay, so we will be able to monitor these variables, what their values are in this inspector. So let's fire it up, and first let's click on slot 2, and you can see the cross is there, but boolean is not changed because we didn't put anything new with booleans in here. But let's click on slot 1 now and inspect this one. Boom, it says true because we had, see, true here because we had this little tick box ticked. Okay, so what we can do is we can click here, Ctrl C, and copy it to all of the other ones. So I will fast forward a bit and just make sure you change this bool variable to slot 2 and then slot 3. Okay, so let's try it out now. Click on first one, true, second, true, third, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, this is it. We made all true, but what happens if we click on slot 1 again? It makes new crosses, you can see, makes more crosses. So we actually didn't do anything, we just said bool 1 taken, slot 1 taken is true, but then we didn't make any logic behind it. So it just goes on and makes one more and sets it bool value to true again. So what we need to do is we need to make a new state here. So click on blank space, add state, and we will need to check if slot 1 is taken here, and if it is taken, then go back to waiting for mouse clicks. If it is not taken, go here and create slot 1. So into state 1, click action browser, and we are already in the bool. We already have bool here, and we need to go down back to logic, and we need to click on here, bool test, because it sends event based on the value of boolean variable, just as we need it. So drag this one in here, and we need to type in, we need to specify bool variable. So slot 1 taken, you can see it on false now, and we also need 2 new events now because we don't want these events. we need to make 2 new events. So let's make one event, create object, and do not create object, and then come back here and right click, create object, and again right click, add transition, and do not create object. And now let's click on this one and drag it out a bit, or no, just drag it out a bit. And now where slot 1 clicked needs to go into here, because here we first check if slot 1 is taken. So we said if slot 1 is taken, then go back, right? So do not create object. So if it is taken, do not create object. If it is not taken, then create object. So we wire create object with create slot 1, and do not create object with waiting for mouse click. So it just goes back, doesn't do anything, just send it back. Okay, so let's try this out. Let's first click on slot 2. Let's close this one. So slot 2 goes to true, and we can again click on slot 2, make new crosses. So now let's click on slot. I'll move this one a bit here. I press the middle button on mouse, so mouse wheel, and drag it around. So let's click on slot 1, and you can see it lets it go through. It lets it go through because we didn't have anything for slot 1 taken, but now we have. Now it's on true. So let's see what happens now. Inspect this one. So goes here, up, and we get a warning, loop count exceeded 1000. So let's go back, and let's go here and copy this one, and I know, basically we will go in here and put one in here, so we don't need to put in all of those. So put one here, wait here. We won't put anything here, we will just say none, so it will just wait and won't do anything afterwards, because we have all this mouse detection here. So let's try it out now. Clicking again and clicking again. Oops, and yeah, that didn't work. Okay, yeah, I know what we will need to do. We will need to make new state, and we will basically need to put wait in here. So we're putting wait in here, and then right click finished, and then finished here, and then do not create object needs to go here first, and it waits here and then come back, because we can't put wait in here because we have a boolean test here, and it just wouldn't work with wait here, just like it didn't work with here, but it can work in here because it's a new state, and after it detects to not create object, it goes here, waits 1 second, and goes back. So let's try it out now. Clicking and clicking again, waits here, goes back. Clicking again, waits here, goes back. Okay, so this wraps up the first okay, this wraps up the second part of this tutorial series, Tic Tac Toe. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more videos. So yeah, see you in part 3.